So today's presentation is financial freedom in 10 years of practice. Our basic mission of this presentation is to train you on those skills which are not taught in a dental college. First of all, what is called a successful practice? बोलते क्या हैं? What exactly is successful practice? Any mission, any business activity, any job, anything, whatever you do to earn money, it is called successful if it is capable to make you a financially free man. Unless you have tensions, unless you are worried about your future and financial aspect, you are not financially free. So the objective of this presentation is how you can develop yourself, your practice, a completely financially free practice. Means after 10 years, if you leave your practice and if you stop doing work, will you be able to maintain rest of your life? That is what the objective is. That is what I call successful practice. I have interacted with more than, it's unbelievable, but more than 45,000 dentists only in last 14 years. And I have closely studied successful dentists. You know, the beauty of all those dentists are they took hardly 4 to 5 years in gaining that leadership position in their respective area. And of course, the rules of game has changed now. पहले क्या था, loyalty was there, family doctors हुआ करते थे, all those things have entirely changed. Now what is there is, जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. And now it is commercialization of healthcare services also. People should trust you, people should believe in you. Healthcare थोड़ा सा special, why we call healthcare is little special, because in healthcare the trust factor is very, very crucial. First of all, when you start doing practice, when you start your practice, even if you have been practicing say for 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, forget about this. Delete all your files from your brain. Start afresh. Start thinking from today. The first thing which you have to think is, set your financial goal today by answering these 6 questions. Number 1 question is, why I am into the practice? What is my objective? And take a paper, please write down on that why exactly, and the answer of this question will be different for different people. I want an Audi. Somebody said, I want an Audi. I found dentist is a very lucrative business, so I entered into it. Whatever. I'm not pressurizing you to write what I say. Please write what you think, why you are into the practice. Second thing is where I want to go. You should know your destination, and you should know it in the beginning only. Unless you know I have to reach there, where will you go? Third is, when I will reach my goal, you have to set a time. Here we have set a time of 10 years. Whatever goal you make, please reach there maximum by 10 years. The next is, what are the opportunities and threats? It's a very, very crucial aspect to study before you do the practice. Why it is crucial? Unless you do the study, the opportunity and threat study of your clinic. Suppose you open up a clinic and charge say 4,000 rupees for a root canal treatment, and a person who is already commanding the area, who is already enjoying the leadership position, he is charging say 2,000 rupees. So people will simply say, Doctor Sahab, do your homework. And now people are really smart enough to say, you know, Consumer Protection Act के अंदर आता है. Dentistry again, healthcare is a part of comes under consumer protection, and they are consumers, and we are providing them service. We are service providers. Forget about the dentist and all that. We are service provider, and as a patient, they have a right to ask us why you are charging so much. When the top doctor with 30 years of experience is charging half of what you are charging, we should be able to answer that. I am not saying don't charge. I am saying it should be, the opportunities and threats should be considered, and once you consider the opportunities and threats, you know the answer of such queries. A logical answer. Next is, who are my competitors? It's a very important thing. You should know your competition level. What competition is. Even a chemist who is supplying Combi-Flame is your competitor. He may be your indirect competitor, but he is your competitor. Not only dentist, you have to thoroughly use your brain and study what exactly the competition is. Competition means whether the masses or the citizens of this particular area are depending on Combi-Flame, or they are aware enough to visit a dentist whenever they found some inflammatory condition or say pain in their teeth. So that study of the population is very, very important. Then comes, how will I achieve my goal? That is simply your business plan. Please remember, dentistry is a business. Rather than writing the dentist, you should write CEO of your clinic, because you are chief executive officer of your clinic. Next we come to, after you decide, 6 questions you have to answer for successful marketing, or we call successful promotions. Look, as far as the dental business is concerned, marketing should be ethical. We are bound by certain laws. We cannot sell our product like what others are doing. We have to be ethical. We have to, how we can market is, educate your masses, educate the people of your area, convince them the importance of oral health care in their life. But by doing all these activities, we are actually creating a branding in their mind about our product or service. First question comes is, why patients should come to me? That is the first answer which you should know before starting your clinic. Why you should give them a reason to come to your clinic. The reason may be anything. The reason may be you have got a very beautiful clinic, very big infrastructure. The reason may be you are very, you know what we call that, economic. Your services are very economic. Third is you are a person who does all the dental treatments completely pain-free. Whatever reason, that you have to develop. And you have to communicate, not to develop. If you develop it and keep it with you, it's going to be no sense. Develop your reasons and then communicate it to the masses. Where will I find my potential customers? You may be sitting in your place, but you should know what kind of customers, what kind of people are going to visit my place. It all depends on your degrees, your reputation, your infrastructure, so many things. In one area, in one sector, you will find people from middle class, from upper middle class, from rich class, from so many, what we call that, market segmentation. You should know how you are doing it. Why this course? Now, once you have chosen a segment, okay, in this area, I have got more than 50% of the people are service class people. For example, then you should make a marketing strategy accordingly. Like, I give a very small example. Service class people means Saturday, Sunday they are off and they can come to you. And you are keeping your clinic closed on Saturday, Sunday. But if it is business class, they may be busy on Saturday, Sundays. So what is important is, you should know, you should understand your area first. That is the most important thing. Now, who are my best customers? Why you need to answer this question? Let me tell you. Who are my best customers means, it is a law in business that 80% of your total revenue comes from 20% of your patients. And rest on 80% patients will give you just 20% of the revenue. Prescriptions, all those small things. So you should focus on those people who are actually going to give you 80% business, and they form just 20% of the total patient segments. Now, how can I serve my patients better than the competitors? This is one more thing. You have to understand. Give them something additional. Give them some add-on benefit, so that they can compare your services from your competitors and can say that yes, I went for a treatment and doctors have cleaned my whole oral cavity, and he's so nice that he didn't charge anything for that. So that is what we call that augmented benefit. Augmented means unexpected benefit which you gave to your customer to develop that network, to develop that loyalty, patient loyalty. This affirmation I have developed for our dental surgeons, and it is very, very effective. Why it is effective? First, we should convince ourselves that we are going to be successful. Forget about patients, they come secondary. If we are not able to convince ourselves that whatever we are doing is going to give us what we want, you can understand we cannot convince patients. My affirmation says, I am a dental surgeon and I am extremely proud of it. I am among the very few whom God has given skill and knowledge to serve the society by alleviating pain and suffering. I am determined to be a very successful practitioner by serving millions of people, by making tons of money in the most ethical way. As a dental surgeon, we should use the ethical word. I am the best and I promise to give my family the best. I deserve to achieve professional success, materialistic growth, a sound health and peace. With the grace of God, I will get this. I promise to offer my parents, my spouse, my children all the material comforts of life, best health facilities, best education, pure and unconditional love, peace and harmony. I promise to share my skills with others for the betterment of society. I am a dentist and I am extremely proud of it. This is one prayer which I believe every dentist should repeat before starting the practice. पाँच मिनट का ब्रेक ले लेते हैं.